Tide starting to turn potentially for the Stanford Cardinal as we get things underway. A few players on this Tennessee team from out west. Thompson once again the leading scorer for the Cardinals.
And when defense, when the rotation over helps.
And how about that? Over the 6'2", Bashar Graves. She launches the three. Yes!
I hope you guys enjoyed those clips. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Lili, not Lily, and this is where I document my real estate investing journey and bring you guys with me. If you've seen some of my past videos, you know that I started off my real estate investing journey by house hacking this duplex and figuring out how to put $0 towards my down payment. So I live upstairs and I have tenants who live downstairs, and their rent payment helps me pay the mortgage and also drastically reduce my living expenses. So as much as I love house hacking, and what I really want to share with you guys today is that I now know that while I was looking for a property to house hack, I probably missed out on about $100,000. So here's how it happened. I've played basketball my entire life from the time I was like 3 years old all the way up through school, and I got to play in college both at Stanford and then when I became a grad student at Notre Dame. I had a great time. We got to snap UConn's winning streak while I was at Stanford. I was the National Player of the Week twice, and when I got to Notre Dame, the team ended up winning a national championship. After that, I got to play professionally with the Harlem Globetrotters and travel all over the country and the world, doing amazing things like hanging out and just shooting around with Steph Curry, as well as doing an interview in a helicopter over Niagara Falls. So in addition to all of these really cool things I got to do, I also got to meet a ton of really cool and really successful people. Once I got into college, I got to know a lot of these successful people, whether they were already in the professional ranks and were just coming back to school to visit, or if they were professors or whatnot. Whatever they were really good at what they were doing. And I discovered that a lot of them either made their money by investing in real estate, or they made their money through something like professional sports and then decided to invest it in real estate. And just seeing so many people that were interested in utilizing real estate to build financial freedom made me pay attention to it. Now, of course, being a professional female athlete doesn't pay as much as being a professional male athlete, but I did still get to be around these high caliber people and learn things that became really, really valuable to me. And I got hooked. I started diving into a ton of different real estate investing books and podcasts, and I'm gonna link a bunch of them in the description for you below. During like an 8-month span, I probably looked at over 100 duplexes, triplexes, and fourplexes. After I graduated from Notre Dame, that's when I went on the road with the Globetrotters, and in between trick shots and interviews, I was constantly on my phone, on the Redfin or Zillow app, looking at new properties. And every time I flew back home, I would set up multiple properties to walk through each day until I had to hit the road again. And you know what? I was missing gold right in front of my eyes, but I had the wrong lenses on to see it. At this time, a few years ago, it was actually more of a buyer's market, and that meant that buyers could be picky, they had lots of options, things weren't super, super expensive. So when I would go into one of these properties and I would see old wallpaper or not updated kitchen and bathrooms, I would walk right out and move on to the next one. If a house popped up on Redfin that said no FHA loans because there were some structural issues, I would just delete the notification and think nothing of it. I even one time came across this fourplex that I'm pretty sure had a leak somewhere in the wall, and there was like an oddly placed refrigerator to like cover up the damage. And I didn't know it, but I was standing in perfect wholesale deals. If you're not familiar with what wholesaling is, it's basically finding a distressed property, whether that mean it has some damage or it's really outdated, and finding an investor who wants to take that property and flip it or update it, and playing the middleman in between them and making a fee for that. I've got other videos that explain wholesaling more in depth, but that's the basic gist of it. And like I said, at this time a few years ago, it was more of a buyer's market. So prices were down relative to where they are right now. And I was walking through dozens and dozens of properties that were already for sale. So I knew the owner was motivated and wanted to sell it. And because I was looking for a place for myself to live in, I didn't want a distressed or outdated home. But I didn't have to house hack those properties. I could have wholesaled them. I imagine now that if I had just gotten like 10 of those 100 or so plus properties that I looked at under contract, I'd be swimming in it. And I know that these were good wholesale deals because I drive past some of those properties all the time and I see that they've been updated and flipped. And I'm not saying all of this because I'm upset that I decided to house hack or I think house hacking is a bad strategy or anything like that. I love house hacking and I can do it once a year, so I'm going to continue to do it once a year and add more multifamily properties to my rental portfolio. But I am saying that I missed out on some other opportunities because I was so focused on house hacking that I stopped learning about other parts of real estate investing because I didn't think I was capable of doing them. And I'm not trying to get like too motivational speechy here, but it's almost like believe in yourself a little bit more. There are a ton of different ways to invest out there. There are a ton of different opportunities. People make money in up markets. People make money in down markets. There are a lot of ways to get involved in real estate and gain some financial freedom for yourself. But in order to take advantage of these opportunities, you can't kind of put your blinders on like I did. You've got to keep your eyes wide open and continually learn about those different opportunities. So if you're looking to broaden your perspective, definitely have some suggestions for you. The first one is to watch this video that I did that breaks down a bunch of different strategies and the pros and cons of each. I'll link it in the description for you to watch later, but hopefully you can look at that and see maybe 2 or 3 strategies that you can envision yourself taking advantage of, maybe not today, but sometime in the next 2 or 3 years. And this is related to my second suggestion, and that's learn about different exit strategies. Because even if you're not ready to implement them, it doesn't hurt to learn. For example, as I work on wholesaling different houses, there are certain properties that come up that don't fit the model for a traditional wholesale deal. And I realized that I need to add other exit strategies like subject to, seller financing, lease options, all different types of things. I need to add those to my toolbox so that I'm able to maneuver and get creative if I run into one strategy that for whatever reason isn't working. And of course, as I learn about these different strategies, I'm definitely going to be documenting what's successful, what's not successful, and sharing all the details with you guys. And finally, I encourage you to tap into a community that's already talking and learning about these things. You might be one of the only people in your friend group or in your family who's interested in real estate investing or financial freedom. And because of that, I know it can get a little bit lonely to just kind of Google and be on YouTube for hours by yourself. But we have each other, and in this year of 2020, it is completely acceptable to meet strangers through the internet, and so take advantage of that. I recommend you find some Facebook groups in your area that talk about investing. Just search them up on Facebook, and you can also look on the Bigger Pockets forums. There are different forums for people who want to talk about different strategies, different investment types, and they have local forums so you can get an idea of who the investors are in your area, and maybe they'll even turn into some cash buyers for you if you're deciding to wholesale. If you made it this far in the video, let me know by heading over to my Instagram and commenting your favorite emoji on my last post. I'm at Lili Invest on Instagram and I post there daily. I go live there every Wednesday at 6:20 p.m. for a Q&A session. So if you want to connect with me more directly, be sure to follow me there. In the meantime, I think you should watch this video next, and YouTube thinks you should watch this one next. I post 3 times a week. Until next time, thank you so much for watching.